What's going on with Sea Ltd stock? The market overall has absolutely ripped in 2023, but not all names have participated in the rally. So it's getting harder and harder for us to find the best stocks to buy, prices to buy at these levels. This video is going to provide Sea Ltd stock analysis. We're going to look at the pros and the cons, the bear and the bull case, valuation. I'm also going to look at a chart and give you some commentary of where I think this stock could go and why it might be an opportunity. So the QQQ, the NASDAQ 100, is up almost 40% year to date. Now, as of this morning, looking at a chart, the QQQ is 11.5% above the 50-day moving average. So, of course, the market can be irrational both directions. It can go much lower than you think it ever will, and it could run a lot harder than you think it might. I think most would agree at some point we're going to have a cool-off. And I want to identify a stock that I think is a buy at these levels and lower and show you some exact price targets. You can see Sea Ltd right now is trading at $61.66. It's about a $35 billion market cap. It has run up a little bit year to date. It's up about 16%. It's down about 10.71% over the past year. Now, over a 5-year chart, it doesn't look so bad. It's up 300%. But if you look at the highs, $357.78 on November 5th, 2021. The stock's down over 80% from those highs. So the three-headed monster, it's been decapitated. 2 of the heads have been completely chopped off and 1 is hanging by a thread. But I don't think this dragon's quite dead yet. Now, I don't think this is a lizard where it can just grow the heads back, and I don't think it's going back to $357 anytime soon. But is it an opportunity at $60 a share? This video is going to give you the answer. So anytime you have a growth stock, if you have a slowdown in growth, well, of course, the stock is going to suffer for it. You can see here from Q1 2022 to Q1 2023, only up 5% year over year on revenue. Now, with that said, the growth is slowing down, but that profitability is increasing. Look at the EBITDA numbers on your screen. And this is Sea's cash and cash equivalents. You can see it's gone down steadily, but they still have $7.2 billion in cash. So you can see the high here, they had about $13.19 billion cash, and they burned some of that cash down, but it's still a significant amount of cash and cash equivalents on that balance sheet. So when I said three-headed monster earlier, if you're not familiar with Sea, they have e-commerce, which is going to be Shopee. They have a fintech segment, which is called Sea Money, not Sea Monkey, but Sea Money. And then they have gaming, which is called Garena. Now, that is where it's been hit the most, is in the gaming segment. In Shopee, their e-commerce segment has been under pressure when you think of competition, especially from companies like TikTok, but also Alibaba and several other names in that area. Now, this is headquartered in Singapore, if you're not aware. But when you look at e-commerce, 46% year over year. Now, this light blue is core marketplace revenue. That darker blue is value-added services revenue. And you can see that's up 33% in the services, 54% on core marketplace. And that EBITDA has gone really from negative to positive. And that light blue is going to be Asia markets. The dark blue is other markets. And there's been some volatility with its international segment. Shopee tried to go into several different South American and Central American countries, and it hasn't gone as planned. So we've seen stocks like Mercado Libre that have bounced nicely off the lows, and this one just hasn't participated in the rally. This is where you see the largest hit is Garena, the digital entertainment or gaming segment. So their bookings are down 15% quarter over quarter, and you can see it's gone down steadily. Quarterly active users is only up 1% quarter over quarter. And then that quarterly paying user ratio, that's going down as well. And here's that full chart so you can see the different quarters. This goes back to Q1 2022, back to this last quarter, Q1 2023. One of the exciting growth areas is really going to be Sea Money. This is their digital financial services or fintech segment. And fintech is also one of the reasons I'm very bullish on Mercado Libre, but that's of course more Latin America. 75% year over year in GAAP revenue. Total loans receivable was $2 billion. Net allowance of credit losses, US $281.1 million. So digital financial services, it's really fintech and digital banking. Gross profit up 21% year over year. Their sales and marketing expenses, they've dropped it significantly. 60% decrease there. Cost of revenue down 6%. Their general administrative expenses are up about 6%. You can see R&D is down 6% year over year, and the provision for credit losses up 121% year over year. So that net income loss went from negative $580 million, this is in millions, to positive 87.3. And there's a note down here, total net income for Q1 2023, so this is the number here, was negatively impacted by $117.9 million impairment of goodwill associated with prior acquisition. So in theory, this number should even be better better the next time they report. So Sea's PS ratio, price to sales, 2.804 for June 16, 2023. Now this is one of the lowest price to sales we've seen on this stock. If you go back to say the pandemic, you're at 6.88. And back in 2019, this dip here, 5.15. During the crazy days of 2021, if you look at February here, is a 30.88. And then around the top, which was November 2021, it was trading close to 23 price to sales. The lowest I really see on here is November 8, 2022 is a 2.153. So like we said in the beginning, it has gone up some, but it hasn't really participated in the rally like most names have. So let's go a little bit deeper on the fundamentals. Then we're going to look at a chart. So again, this is a mid cap around a $35 billion market cap. No PE ratio as of right now. One thing to point out here, guys, short interest is 4.38%. Now, short interest on the stock at one point, I remember seeing something like 25%. So shorts are starting to get out of this stock, thinking that maybe it's building a base and it might recover. I think this is a positive for the stock. Of course, it eliminates the ability for a short squeeze, but it could be a sign that things could start to be getting better for the stock. In fact, if you look at the QQQ, the short interest is around 15%. So according to Fidelity here, the price to sales ratio, 2.74. Price to book is 5.83. And EPS, earnings per share, shows 15 cents. Now this is interesting. Next year's estimate for PE, 26. If this company continues to improve profitability and they can get the growth accelerated again, this stock could take off from here. And I'm going to show you a chart and show you exactly where I think it could go. Now, before we do that, if you're new here, please subscribe to the channel, click that bell for notifications. I bring videos like this to you every week, sometimes daily, and I've really been doing a series of videos like this, best stocks to buy, and they've been on point for quite some time. Also, if this video is helpful, make sure you like and comment. And I do need to announce this video was sponsored by the Motley Fool. If you'd like to see the 10 best stocks to buy now, visit fool.com/firedupwealth. A reminder, Fool doesn't tell me what to tell you guys, what to make. They're a great partner. Check those guys out. And I also encourage you to join our private community, Patreon Discord. We've been crushing it all year, and we were buying strong last year in 2022. Really one of the few safe places on the internet for long-term investors, and we rallied together and we rode out the storm. And I encourage you to join us. We're just getting started, and we'd love to have you. You can visit patreon.com/firedupwealth. Now, you never want to buy a stock off of analyst ratings. Do not do that. But I like to look at them really just to get a gauge of sentiment. And C does have 13 analysts covering the stock with a strong buy rating, 63% upside, $100.26. So the high price target is 140. The lowest price target is 82, still well off the levels we're trading at today. And the average is $100.26. Now, right now, Sea Ltd is trading at $61.52. The RSI really goes from 0 to 100. If you get 30 or less, that's typically oversold. 70 or higher, typically overbought, but it can literally go from 0 to 100. This stock recently was around that 30 RSI. Today it's at 39.05. And when we look at charts, if you see orange, that's a previous chart day. Every single Wednesday in Patreon Discord, we go through charts. We cover QQQ and 20 individual stock picks from the group. So community members give me tickers and we look at different charts. So anything in orange is a previous chart day that we discussed in Patreon Discord. Yellow is going to be today's chart day. I have nothing in yellow because I'm just going to talk through it. So this ribbon of colors you see here, this is called a Fibonacci retracement. Now it's not perfect, but oftentimes when it's in the bottom, if it's in the red here or lower, it can be a good buying opportunity. And if you're using this for say swing trading, you'll buy down here, you'll sell it when it gets to the top of the green or maybe in the blue. When it gets up in the red, it's getting a little bit hot and you want to be careful. So you can see with Sea Ltd, this was down in the 40s. And we said back in a previous chart day, this was months ago, back under 50, we said accumulation target was under $50. So a lot of people in Discord were buying this $42, $45, $50. And this did have a nice trend line that was moving upward. It went from 41 to 47 to 58, 72. It got all the way up to $88 and then rolled over. And this is really after earnings. It bottomed out here recently around $56 the beginning of June, so a couple weeks back. And it bounced off this $56. It got up to around 65 and then it rolled over. So right now trading around $61.53. The way that I would personally play this, I would want to buy this stock $60 or less DCA, but that might not happen because it is forming a base. I think the overall market is going to decide what happens next for a lot of these stocks. In other words, if the NASDAQ decides to sell off 3% next week, well, this could easily go back in the 50s and it would be an opportunity, in my opinion, to buy. Now, even if it doesn't get in the 50s, it could be an opportunity here at $61. And where I see it going from here, I think if the market stays bullish and other names like Sea Ltd start to participate in the rally, you could see this come up up here, this is the R1. So this is pivot points, Fibonacci pivot points. You've got resistance 3, 2, and 1. You've got a P, and then you've got support 1, 2, 3. So this bounced really off support 1 Fibonacci, and it had resistance right before the P. I think it could consolidate. I have this circled here. This would be an opportunity, I think, to add in this circle. It certainly can go lower, but you add here, I think it could ride up to this R1 around $80 a share. Now, it certainly could push higher than $80 a share. If you look at this R2 up here, you're looking at about $87, and this R3 is around $100. And I think $100 is possible, but it could take some time. It's not going to happen overnight. So for long-term investors, if you're thinking 3 and 5 years out, this could be an opportunity to accumulate shares. Maybe start a small position in DCA if it drops lower. If you're a swing trader or something like that, you have to watch it really carefully, but it could be an opportunity to ride this from, say, $60 to $79, $80. But like I always say, do what's best for your money. This is just some quick analysis on Sea Ltd. I hope this video is helpful. Please subscribe to the channel. Click that bell for notifications. Drop me a like. Drop me a comment. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Father's Day. Take care.